No matter how long I've been in this sport, I think I'm the smartest guy in the room and know all sorts of things about the sport. One thing that I fall for every time, I think it's one of the reasons I get to enjoy this sport as long as I have as a fan, I fall for the marketing every time. Now, I thought Woodley was going to win the fight, but I did see we were going to have a big back-and-forth battle here, and it's going to be confusing and probably go 5 rounds, and maybe the judges would have to get involved. Until all of a sudden it dawns on me, we just saw this story. It was just called Ngannou versus Stipe. It was just an untested guy against untested styles, walking in to the most complete fighter in the division that's got a 12-pound gold belt around his waist to prove it. And that is what we saw. It was as dominant as you could possibly get, and much like you saw with Ngannou versus Stipe. There will never be a call, there will never be a need, and there will never be a rematch between Till and Woodley.
Well, how do we fix the relationship between you and John Jones? See, he recently came out and said that you're a liar. Like, it's scary how much you lie, and you guys used to be friends, used to be teammates, college teammates. How do we fix this? Is this fixable, or is this never going to get fixed between you two?
How's John doing these days, Ariel? I'd really like to know that. Was he giving this interview from jail?
Okay, so is that a no? You're not interested in fixing it. Did you lie about anything you said about John Jones?
Nope, I've never lied about one thing I've said about John Jones. Everything I've said has been to the fullest extent of the truth. You can't believe anything that guy says. He's delusional. Look at the stuff he says. Oh, I'm God. Oh, this and that. Like, he shoots himself in the foot. Like, everything he says, like he's saying he's all this religious person, but he's hitting pregnant ladies and he has all these drugs in the car and he's spinning for the foothills like the little coward that he is. So, the guy's completely delusional. I think all the drugs have rotted his brain, Ariel. So, he needs to go get checked up with the doctor and make sure his chemical levels are balanced out right.
You had mentioned the welterweights not having much for you, and you had also mentioned possibly, in the past talking about going up and fighting Bisping. Is that something that still interests you in the future? Possibly moving up. It seems to be a new time. I'm sorry?
So I'm at the carpool grab my kids. But
no, it's okay.
I would definitely, especially when you got the current middleweight guys that are fighting for a title, are both oversized welterweights. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Already beat Kelvin. Robert Whitaker, the tough stud. He had 2 good fights with Yoel Romero. But he lost to Wonder Boy, a guy that I fought a couple times. So,
yeah.
Right now I love the game of mixed martial art. I love where it's at. I love what I see when I watch it. Khabib and freaking, Aljamain pulling out these crazy ass submissions. Tatiana Suarez completely. I heard Carla was thrown up in a hospital from concussion just from the amount of abuse she took. So I'm just excited to be at the top of the food chain during this moment. And whoever they put in front of me, man, I want to do better and better and better and be more dominant every single time. And that's all I'm focused on. I mean, I'll eventually get that fight everybody wanted me to get. That big fight. But I just can't call for it myself. The fans will do it for me, and when they do it, then I'll step up and I'll rise to the occasion.
Well, I'll say this right now. I definitely sign off on you versus the winner of Gastelum and Whittaker, because as you said, you've beaten Gastelum already. Whittaker was a welterweight, so it totally makes sense.
And so when people talk about his wrestling, they talk more about his takedown defense, and they talk about how great it is or whatever. I believe you have the best takedown defense in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know that anybody's ever taken you down. I guess looking at you as an expert, what do you make of his takedown defense?
Nah, his takedown defense is what it is. He doesn't really have takedown defense. He tries to run and bail and do athletic stuff and try to roll across his head, try to create a scramble, but it's not like he's out here stuffing takedowns. And besides, whenever I grip him up, good luck with trying to move and scramble or whatever, So, like I said, I don't think his takedown defense is good. Like, if he would go into a wrestling match and get taken down like over and over again, technical fall, they'll stop the match because he just got taken down so much. But it's funny because he talks a lot, but he has a lot of holes in his game. Like, I don't really have any holes in my game. I just get greedy sometimes. Like, I go out there and I'm like super aggressive, which is stupid. But I mean, it is what it is. You hear a lot of middleweights in the UFC complaining about, oh, I don't make enough money. I'm not complaining about that because I get crazy sometimes, and the UFC likes the craziness. The fans want to see the craziness. So I look back and I'm like, man, okay, all right, you need to tone it down a bit because you get all off balance just trying to knock people out. You know, I have great technique. You know, it's just sometimes I get a little greedy, a little gamble a little too much out there instead of just sticking to it. So I like this because I have a guy that I can't get greedy against, just like Anderson Silva. Okay, that fight didn't go my way. I won the fight, but I got jerked on the decision. But I wasn't super aggressive because I had a guy who I couldn't be super aggressive with. Lyoto Machida, I couldn't be super aggressive with. Uriah Hall, I couldn't be super aggressive with. So those guys I all did fine with. Okay, this guy is maybe a tad bit quicker Anderson, but less MMA awareness, no jiu-jitsu. Anderson Silva, you take him down on the ground, this guy is nasty on the ground. You have to worry about a lot of stuff coming. You know how to slow down your punches. You know how to throw elbows from the bottom. He's just super veteran. This guy has nothing on his back. You know, I mean, he's basic. I seen him throw up a triangle. It didn't look half bad, but I'm not really worried about catching me in a triangle. I'll pick him up and spike him on his head. So, yeah, just definitely looking forward to the fight.
GSP has never seemingly wanted that fight. You know, that has never been a fight. It's been a fight that's been on the table now, you know, for the better part of 24 months because it's a fight that Tyron would love. So what do you think is next for Tyron Woodley? I would imagine you don't think it's GSP.
I don't think it's GSP. To go back to who the greatest welterweight of all time is, you know, listen, I still think it's George St. Pierre. I truly do. I just think that when you look at Tyron Woodley and who he's faced and the fact that this sport is evolving and getting better all the time, George St. Pierre has never faced a grappler like a Damian Maia, and he's never faced a striker like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. So, again, I think over time, as Tyron continues to win, I think he will take that number one spot. However, I think this is a fight that could happen, however. When you look at Tyron Woodley and his impressive wins and who he's beaten, I think if he's able to get another couple of wins and do it like he did against Darren Till, if he's able to destroy a Colby Covington, for example, there's only really one guy left, and that's Kamaru Usman. If, again, he gets through him or cuts through him early, I think that it's a better chance of happening. I truly do. I think for George St. Pierre, he wants a huge fight, and he wants to fight someone who, you know, people are very impressed with, a fight that people would consider a super fight, a fight that is going to help his legacy. And I think as of right now, he probably still feels like he's the best welterweight. But when he starts to question that, because George St. Pierre is about challenges, just like Tyron Woodley is about challenges. Yeah. When you start to question, am I the best at the end of the day? If I beat Tyron Woodley, he puts a stamp on that. When that starts to kind of creep into his mind, I think we'll see George St. Pierre take that fight. So maybe if he's still around another couple years or another year.
But speaking of heavyweights, man, I've obviously got to ask about Cain Velasquez. We talked about him a bit here. Everybody wants to know if he's coming back. We've seen him at the WWE Performance Institute, training there. We've seen him at some WWE events. Does he come back to fighting, in your opinion, or will he make the transition over to professional wrestling?
No, he's looking to fight. It's just a matter of his manager getting the deal done for him. He's been looking to fight. He's been healthy the whole year. He's been healthy and he wants to fight. So we'll see what management and organizations do to get that to happen. But he's not retired by any means. He's never said he's retired. He's just waiting for a deal.
Is he in the
that
gym
makes
often?
sense for them. What's that?
Is he in the gym often?
He was in the gym quite a bit, helping Daniel. Now he comes in every so often. He has a lot of things to do. He loves his family. He spends a lot of time with his son and his wife, So he's always been a family man. Every time people talk to me, they don't fully understand what a great family man this guy is and what his family means to him. They mean everything to him. So, if he doesn't have a fight, he'll come in, stay sharp, this and that. But if there's no fight coming around, he'll spend that time, quality time with his family. And that's the way he will always be.